Okay guys, welcome to a post-play Blackpool video. Now, this is actually the second attempt I've got to make in this video. I recorded a video earlier on. I added in the footage that I took at Blackpool on Saturday, and I started uploading it, and I checked on its progress, and I thought, oh, it's just processing, I can now delete the files. So I deleted the files, I emptied the trash can, and when I went back in a few hours later, I noticed it hadn't uploaded, and it hadn't started processing it. It was only still uploading. So I've lost the file, I've lost this video, I've lost all the stuff that I took at Blackpool. Fortunately, I didn't actually have anything very interesting. It was basically a quick overview of the event itself. So anyway, yeah, Blackpool. I was there on Saturday. I drove down on Friday night. There was myself, there was my two mates, there was my daughter and her friend. We got down. We stayed in Lancaster. We couldn't get anywhere to stay in Blackpool, so we stayed in Lancaster, which was about 40 minutes from Blackpool. So on the Saturday morning, we got up nice and early, drove to Blackpool, got there for about 10:30, 10:15, something like that. So impressions, yeah, I mean. The event itself is pretty much what it's always been, you know, arcade games, consoles, home computers, bit of indie games, some cosplay. Well, I didn't see too much cosplay, which was a wee bit disappointing for my daughter because she was dressed up and so was her pal, and I think they felt a wee bit kind of the odd one out because there was very, very few cosplayers. Well, at least I didn't see very many, apart from there was a full-size Pikachu, there was a Darth Vader, and I think there was also a guy dressed up as one of like the Space Marines thing. So that was it. But I say the actual hall itself, it was in the Norbreak Castle. I don't know what it's actually called. It's got a different name. The hotel itself is pretty manky, I've got to say. I'm not a fan of Blackpool now. No disrespect to anyone that comes to Blackpool. I mean, I've got a few friends that come from there. But the actual seafront, I mean, the actual beach itself is really nice, but I'm not a fan of all the cheap tat and all the fast food places that you get. The arcades are a waste of time. I mean, Blackpool was the epic centre, the epicentre, I think it is, for arcades back in the 80s, but now it's just fully money grabbing machines. But anyway, back to the Norbreak Castle. It had the main hall, which had, when you went in, you had all the arcade machines. I don't know how many there were. I reckon, I don't know, maybe 150. Were there as many as that? I'm not too sure. What did I play? I mean, I saw there was like an outrun sit down. There was is it a G-Lock? I think it is. Which there was always people queuing to get that. So I didn't have a shot at any of these at all. Games that I played, I didn't play too many. I played track and field, and I managed to get the high score for the high jump. I had a few goes. I got it just at the very end. I got 242, which is about, I think I've managed 247, 248 before, so it was well off my best. But I was quite chuffed to get the high score at that. I played Berserk quite a few times. Now I know you're thinking, well, you've got a meme cab, but there's something nice about playing the proper arcade game. Though saying that, the actual the joystick was a wee bit iffy when you were trying to move up or down. It was sometimes kind of moving off to the side a wee bit, which made it kind of difficult. You didn't want to get too close to the wall, or else you'd end up dying. So I played Berserk. I also played Gyrus, which was nice, and yet it is joystick controlled. I wasn't sure if that was a spinner or a joystick, but it's a joystick, and it actually plays fine. What else did I play? Not a great deal. I didn't see any Rolling Thunder, didn't see any Terra Cresta, I didn't see any Star Wars. It was the Juno First, which I didn't play. I mean, I really played very, very little games. Then you've got there was a lot of, you know, consoles, home computers. I mean, I think I saw one Spectrum, I saw a VIC-20, but to be honest, I'm really not interested in playing any of these systems because I've got them all here. Why would I want to go down there and play a system that I've got? You know, yeah, I play the arcade games because although I've got a MAME cab, there's something nice about playing the proper arcade machine. So that was good. Then at the sort of far end of the hall, there was like the usual indie stuff. There was one game which I saw, it looked quite interesting. It looked quite like, what do you call it, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, that kind of thing, Double Dragon, but it was all zombies, kind of cartoony artwork zombies. Looked really nice. There was also, I don't know what the name of it's called. It's a game that was released by Andrew Hewson, who obviously he was the founder of Hewson, who made Paradroid and all these kind of games, Uridium. And I noticed they had the game on display. It looks quite like Uridium, but bright colours, and it was done in a very kind of blocky Lego kind of style. You know, this kind of real popular pixel kind of artwork, which I'm not a big fan of, but it does look really nice. And I noticed was that Andrew's son was there talking to a few people, and I was kind of waiting to see if I could have a chat with him, just to ask him about it, and you know, but there was always people talking to him, so that looked quite nice as well. And then they had the usual kind of indie stuff in the PS4 and that, which I didn't play. They also had a big kind of circle of Xbox, original Xboxes playing. I think it was Halo. Was it Halo 2 or the original Halo? I think it was. Talk wise, I went to two of them. First one was it was Gary Bracey, who was one of the big cheeses from Ocean. He was doing a talk, and it was is it the podcast hour, the retro hour? Is it Dan? I can't remember what his second name is. They were interviewing Gary Bracey. And then I went into the second one, which was Mark Cale of System 3. It's quite interesting as well. Obviously talking about the old days, and these guys are still making games. So, yeah, I mean, it was nothing spectacular, but what I will say one thing, the atmosphere in Blackpool is much better than the one I was at in Glasgow. The problem with Glasgow, and I think I mentioned that a few other people commented on it, is the lighting. In Glasgow, it was like being in a supermarket. Super bright kind of halogen lights, fluorescent lights, whatever it was really bright. And some of the games, it was actually hard to see the screen properly. I mean, arcade games were designed to be played in dimly lit arcades, and that's why you have the sort of the banner and that kind of stuff, the marquee lit up, because it's meant to be kind of dark. Blackpool does do it better. It was kind of subdued lighting, which definitely adds to the atmosphere quite a lot, and it makes it a lot more kind of fun playing the games. They also had the retail section. The usual was at Retro Passion, I think it was. There was maybe half a dozen stalls selling the usual consoles and games, and there was a big choice of stuff, to be fair. But prices are not, in my mind, very competitive. You can always go on eBay and get something a lot cheaper. I mean, people's arguments is, well, you're getting to see what you're buying, you can look at the quality, you can check the quality, there's no postage, and that's absolutely true. But, you know, if you're looking for a bargain, I don't think you're going to get a bargain at one of these events. I think prices have certainly risen, maybe in line with general. I mean, generally I think not arcade games, sort of collectible, classic consoles and computers, I think are generally, the prices is going up again, because obviously more and more people are buying them. But I didn't buy anything at all. The only thing I was wanting to buy, and it wasn't even gaming related, was a Walter White character from Breaking Bad, but I didn't see anyone selling these. It was all obviously video games. They had the usual garbage, like swords, weapons, plushies. There was a Chinese, Japanese stall selling sweeties. What's his name? Bob Wakelin was there selling his artwork. That's always fascinating. I generally don't buy stuff like that, but he was there, and it's like a great stall, because there's obviously, you can pick yourself up an original piece of artwork and get Bob to sign it. So yeah, he was there. But yeah, slightly underwhelming. I mean, it was the same stuff that you get year after year. So that was that. And then off the kind of main corridor, you had like, I think there was a game, an actual board games, Dungeons and Dragons type thing going on. There was people in there. I didn't even look, I'm not interested in that. There was also, I don't know, there was computers linked up playing some games. I'm really not too sure, but got to say the big thing for me is the people, is meeting friends old and new. Now, before I start, apologies if I spoke to you and I have missed you off the list, because I'm absolutely crap with names. I really am. I mean, I can meet somebody and we'll exchange names, and within a half an hour I'm like, what was that guy's name again? I'm terrible with names, I really am. So anyway, I've written down, I went down with my mates, my daughter and her pal. Whoops, a daisy. It was great to catch up with Tony Temple. Tony's a good mate of mine's. He was down there, I think just down there for the day. He wasn't doing any. I mean, Tony's done the talks before. He's done talks in Missile Command and whatnot. So I kind of met up with Tony. I met him at the bar for an hour, just had a chin wag. And what was quite interesting, I mean, Tony came out with a good point. He just a bit like myself, he feels that they're missing a trick a wee bit with these things. I mean, it's all just about the games, the machines. And yeah, they've got some industry figureheads doing talks, but there's a lot more I think they could probably use. I mean, Tony is a renowned arcade restorer. What he doesn't know about restoring arcade games is probably not worth knowing. And he says he would gladly stand up for an hour and talk about restoring an arcade game, what you need to do, tips and tricks. There's a guy that apparently fixes all the machines there. He says he could go up and do a talk, and then he says, like, guys like myself who do YouTube, there's YouTubers, just going up and talking about the nostalgia of the hobby. I mean, people love to hear about the old days, and there's a lot of people there that they're too young, so they would probably gladly, you don't have to be famous to be interesting, so I think, yeah, there's like people like myself, other YouTubers who could go up and do a talk for a while, it'd be quite interesting. Then you've also got emulation. I would quite happily do a workshop in emulation. There's people better than myself that could do that as well. So there's a lot of things I think that they could be doing, and they're not doing it at all. I think these shows will gradually, for me, they're kind of losing the appeal a wee bit, because there's I think there's a lot of other things that they could introduce to these shows which would make it interesting. I mean, Tony's a Missile Command World Champion. One of my mates, Dave. Yep, I was double checking your name, Dave. He holds the highest record, the highest score for Galaxian. And then there was John Studley, who was there playing Pac-Man. So you could have arcade, you could have 3 or 4 arcade machines with all these guys playing them, giving tips. You go on and you play, and they're giving you tips how to improve your score. So I think I think they're missing a trick. There's a lot of things they could put into these shows that would be entertaining, but yeah. So anyway, it was good to catch up with Tony. Also caught up with John Studley. I mean, when I arrived, John was playing Pac-Man, and he was still playing Pac-Man when I left. He actually beat the highest score, 6.3 million, I think it was he got. He was playing from, I don't know what time it would be, about 9 in the morning to 9 at night. I think, or it was about 10, 11 hours he was playing for. Obviously, you don't disturb him when he's playing, but what John will do from time to time, he'll park Pac-Man in a little safe spot. And when he did that, I was having a wee chat with him, so it was good to see John as well, but he was obviously working. I think he was doing that for charity. Other people, a few tubers. I met Chris, Gadget UK 164. Great to meet you, Chris. I don't know Chris. I know his channel. I do follow his channel. He's got a fantastic channel all about repairing machines, consoles, you name it. What Chris doesn't know about repairing these machines isn't worth knowing. Great channel, and Chris introduced me to himself, and when he started talking, I thought, I know the voice. So it was nice to catch up with Chris. Also, Pete on a retro tip. I met Pete with a few other YouTubers. Nice to catch up with Pete once again. There was Chris Novabug. Always nice to catch up with Chris. Again, I didn't have that much time to talk to these guys, which was a shame, because if I had my way, I would go down for 2 days. I would spend a day playing games and doing my own thing. then I'd spend a day socialising. So when I was there yesterday or whatever, Saturday, I was conscious that I wasn't talking to people for very long, and it wasn't because I was being ignorant, it was just because you're only there for a short time. I mean, I went all the way down there, you know, for different reasons, and time is of the essence. And so, you know, I don't spend as much time talking to people as I would like. So yeah, met up with Chris. Thank you very much, Chris, for the Commodore 64 games. I've got them up there, mate. It was really, really kind of you to do that. Scott Games Reviews, again, lovely bloke. Again, I didn't have much a chance to talk to him. It was just really a kind of hello, how's it going? Which was a shame because, you know, it'd been nice to have spend more time. Grush Newton, met Grush as well. He was in the bar, I think it was, along with a few other guys. I mean, I tend not to, because I'm up and down in one day. I don't know a lot of the tubers, so there was quite a few guys there that I probably watched their channel, but I'm not too sure who they are. So, you know, if you saw me and I didn't say hello to you, then I do apologise. It's not because I'm being an ignorant sod. It's just because I maybe don't actually know the face, you know. And Charlie Farr, Dave. I've known Dave for, I would probably say, probably more than 10 years actually. 2001. I'm talking about probably 16 years. I've kind of known Dave. He's one of these guys. I've only ever known him through the internet. We kind of both went to Yak forums, and so I've known Dave for a long time. Like I says, he is the world champion at Galaxian on MAME. I don't know what kind of score he's got, but absolutely insane score. But he's such a lovely guy. I was talking to him about Berserk, and I told him my best was about 20,000, and he told me his was over 100,000. So yeah, I mean, as I said, you could have Dave, you could have John, you could have Tony playing all these games, showing people how to improve. Also met Retronic Collector Tony. I follow Tony's channel, and he does the same with mine's. Nice to meet you, Tony. I noticed. I mean, I was talking to Tony for a wee while, and I got a picture taken with him as well. I never saw you after that, Tony. I mean, but I don't know. Did you leave early? I was there till the bitter end. I was there till 6 o'clock. But I never actually saw Tony again after I kind of said cheerio to him. Also met Jim Bagley. I mean, I know Jim fairly well. I always spend a bit of time chatting to him. He's such, I mean, out of all these people in the industry that you could meet, you would be hard pushed to meet a nicer guy than Jim. He's such a down to earth person, which you would expect because, you know, but, you know, Jim is, let's be honest, Jim is a well-known person in this industry. His passion for the scene is amazing. But if you chat to Jim, he'll sit down with you and he'll just, you know, he'll chew the fat with you. He's such a nice guy, really nice guy. I was sorry to miss his talk he was talking on the Sunday, but I mean I left on the Saturday night, so always great to catch up with Jim. And my highlight, I've got to say, when I arrived, I went into the retail part, and I knew that Gary was one of the big cheesies of Ocean, as I mentioned earlier. I wanted to go to the talk. When I was in the retail part, I saw Gary. He was dressed up with his sort of suit jacket on. He was talking to a few people, so I was hanging about, and when he started to walk away, I approached him and I said, "Oh, hi Gary," I says, "My name's Alan." I says, would you give me a picture with you?" He's like, yeah, not a problem. So we got a kind of selfie taken, and I just, you know, I started chatting to him. I was asking him about, you know, how does he feel about the fact that something that he did 35 years ago is still popular, and he just says that he's blown away with the love and the enthusiasm that still exists for stuff that was done a long time ago. He's still in the industry, so he was chatting away to me for quite a while, and what I thought was quite funny was Tony, the Tronic Collector, came up, and I don't think Tony knew who Gary was, but of course that was the first time I'd met Tony. So we started chatting. He's like, "Oh, Main Meister, great to meet you," and chatting. And then Tony started to tell Gary that this was the legend, the Main Meister. But to be fair, Gary then said, "Oh, you've got a YouTube channel." He says, "Look," and he gave me his business card, and he says, "Look, ping me an email. I'd be interested to see what your channel's all about." So I took the bull with the horns, and I says, "Look, could I could I pester you for an interview? And he says, yeah, absolutely. So I think he's away next week, but I'm going to get in touch with him next week and tie up a blind mates only. So what I'll probably do, guys, is I'll put up a video asking for your questions for Gary Bracey. I says he was one of the sort of directors with Ocean. So I went to Gary's talk. It was really interesting, but I feel quite privileged that I'm going to have Gary all to myself to have a chat with. And I'll probably ask some different questions as well, you know, something slightly different. So that is it, guys. It was, like I said, the highlight for me is meeting the people, meeting my friends, old and new. Obviously getting to meet some iconic people within the industry as well. That's always interesting. Would I go back to Blackpool? I don't know. I mean, the thing that if it wasn't for meeting the people, I wouldn't go back, because it costs a lot of money to get down there with the petrol, with the hotel and that kind of stuff. It's all about the people for me. So I probably will go, because it's nice. That's my one opportunity a year to really meet up with all these guys, you know. If you've never been to one of these events, definitely make a point of going along. I mean, it's in Manchester. There's also Nerg as well, which I think is down in Newcastle. So anyway, like I said, I did have some footage which I have subsequently deleted. So there was nothing particularly interesting. It was just me playing a game and obviously looking at the different stalls and that. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talking pish once again. And as usual, guys, thank you very much for watching.